under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everybody to our meeting tonight. We haven't accentuated the positive, but our special guest is not here. So we're going to kind of see if our guest shows up and then circle back to that at some point in the meeting, or maybe move it to next month. So I'll move on to approval of tonight's agenda. Can I get approval, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Moved and second. Any comments or questions about tonight's agenda? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. We have an agenda. All right. So now we will open, we're going to do a Building Dragon Excellence project hearing and second preliminary determination hearing. And once again, I have Ms. Gizzy will come forward and join us. I have a script here, so I can make sure I hit all the legal benchmarks and a script. So I'll start reading. The next on our agenda is for the board to hold a preliminary determination hearing on the proposed bond project. If you are interested in speaking at this hearing, please make sure you have signed the sign-in sheet, including your name and address. If after the presentation by the administration and its advisors, there will be an opportunity for the public to make comments about the project. At the hearing, we will ask that each person limit their comments to established board standards and that the topic be limited to the proposed project under consideration. The notice of the preliminary determination hearing was published as legally required. The first preliminary determination hearing was held on June 8, 2026. At this time, I will ask our Director of Finance, Ms. Sarah Gizzy, to explain the purpose of this hearing. Ms. Gizzy.
Thanks, Dan. Before we get started, I just wanted to welcome two of our advisors are here tonight, Josh Winter from Ice Miller and Mike Shoemaker from Stiefel, our bond counsel and our underwriters. We appreciate them being here to provide support if needed. Again, similar to what Dan said, there are some legal things that we need to make sure that we're careful about and read carefully. So pursuant to Indiana code, before a school corporation may spend more than $1 million to construct, repair, or alter a school building that will be financed by a lease or bonds, it must hold a public hearing at which explanations of the potential value of the project to the school corporation and community are given. Similarly, pursuant to Indiana code 61123.5, a school corporation must hold two public hearings and adopt a resolution to preliminarily determine to issue bonds or enter a lease agreement to fund a project which has total project cost in excess of a non-controlled project, or if the school corporation has a debt service fund tax rate above a certain amount. This public hearing and the consideration of resolutions are the very beginning of the legal process. The resolutions presented at this meeting establish the maximum financial terms for the proposed project.
Very good. We will now hear from Ms. Gizzy about the process of determining and communicating the project to the community and the need for the project. We will also hear how the proposed project will be financed, as well as information about the effect on the typical property tax payer.
So this is similar to what we did at the last meeting with our first hearing. This is our second hearing and our project hearing as well. So we've had many discussions with the board and advisors about the state of our buildings. We've done our facilities study, and we've met several times about that, our grade reconfiguration. So we're learning more and more about some of the needs that we have in our district. So this project will sustain us and help us with those projects for the next 8 to 10 years. And just so you know that we're asking tonight for an approval of an amount up to $98 million for those projects. They will allow us to perform renovations of and improvements to facilities throughout the district, including deferred maintenance, demolition, the construction of additions, site improvements, and the purchase of equipment, buses, and technology. As we look at this over an 8 to 10 year period, we will only be asking to issue bonds as needed as projects surface and based on the schedule that we'll make with our advisors. This is the Building Dragon Excellence project that we'll refer to that moving forward. And as you know, We definitely have needs at the new Palestine Junior High and at Sugar Creek Elementary, which will be at the top of our list. So the purpose of these hearings and the ultimate approvals is to set forth the maximum amounts, so maximum dollar amount to be spent on the project. Once it's determined that the project should be addressed, again, we'll come back to you with each specific project and each specific issue, bond issue. And it's up to $98 million in approvals. We'll only issue the bonds when the financing is needed and the amount that is needed. So the maximum dollar amount, as I mentioned, is $98 million. The maximum interest rate on the bonds will be 6%, and we plan to issue debt over the next 8 to 10 years from this approval, and the payments will be structured so there will be no impact to the taxpayer. So as we have debt rolling off, then we'll structure the payments so that the debt will roll on and we'll maintain that tax neutral levy. So the maximum term of the bonds is 20 years after issuance as well.
Thank you. We will now open the public hearing. Remember, if you would like to speak, please sign in on our sheet, which is located with our board assistant, Ms. Amber Rush. As I mentioned earlier, we ask that you state your name and address, limit your comments to the proposed project and financing, keep any comments to established board standards, and avoid being repetitive if possible. May I have the call-in sheet? Do we have anybody? Anybody like to sign up to speak tonight? Going once? Nobody? All right. Thank you for all who participated in the hearing. Please note that this is just the first step of the legal process. The board will continue to work with administration and the professionals to look for efficiencies to conserve tax dollars while meeting our educational needs. Close that hearing now. And we will go back to our agenda, and next on our agenda is item number 5, citizens' comments on agenda items. Don't believe we have any of those. So we will move on to item number 6, which is consent agenda. And tonight, the board is being asked to approve meeting minutes, regular meeting minutes dated June 8, 2026, executive session meeting minutes dated June 8, 2026, claims and finance, payrolls claim dated through June 5th, 2026, payroll claims dated through June 19th, 2026, payroll claims dated through July 3rd, 2026, claims dated through June 30th, 2026, and claims dated through July 13th, 2026. We also have a personnel report that is dated through July 13th, 2026. At this time, I'd like to have a motion on the consent agenda, please.
I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions about the material on the consent agenda? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion will pass. Next is unfinished business, and first out of that heading at 7.1 is second reading of policies, and that is our policy liaison, Ms. Laura Haber.
Okay, so we reviewed this series of policies at our last board meeting. I have not heard from anyone this month regarding these policy changes. Therefore, I recommend that we adopt the policies as presented last month.
Very good. Can I get a motion for adopting the said policies?
Motion to approve the policies as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions? Again, this is the second reading, 2 months in, so that we all had time to read them, digest, make our suggestions. Anything of importance like that, we usually take 2 months to approve. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting the second reading of policies indicate by saying yes.
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 Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Next on our agenda is new business, and tonight on the 8.1 is the New Palestine New Palestine Cadet Football League building proposal. It'll be Mr. Lawson and the MPCFL representative, Mr. Chad Green, and partner.
We also have Tim Smith. He is the owner
Okay.
of Integrated Construction Inc., a contractor that's helping
Great.
us
Great.
run it along.
All right, welcome.
All right, so probably over the past year, they came to us with the idea of building a new concession stand on North Campus, the youth football fields. It's kind of far off of the beaten path, and they want to put it closer to the parking lot. So over some, multiple meetings with them and Dr. Fleet, I think, we finally have a rendering down and of what's proposed. So I think they're gonna explain a little bit of what they're wanting to do, and I'm pretty excited about it, so.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so hello, again, I'm Chad Green, President of the Cadet Football League, and this is Tim. He's a contractor and the owner of Integrated Construction Inc. He's a local community citizen. His son is in the league currently. He's been gracious enough to help us in this endeavor. I'll just leave with up front, we're not looking for any financial help here. We're just looking for approval to erect a building. And what we're looking for is a concession stand, a men's and women's restroom, and then an area for equipment storage. Currently, our equipment is stored in two 40-foot like Conex containers out there. Our concession stands are served out of like a mini barn, which you'd see in the backyard of a residential neighborhood, and we have porta-johns for toilets, okay? That infrastructure really not sustainable for the growth we've seen out there and the projected growth of the community. Relatively speaking, Brownsburg community in their 1 through 6 tackle division, they had 101 girls sign up to cheer and 296 kids sign up to play tackle football. We had 101 girls sign up to cheer and 246 kids sign up to play tackle football. So it's a very large program with the success Coach Ralph continues to see. We expect to continue to grow with the community, and we're looking for the infrastructure to support that. Tim has been fantastic in offering his services. We'll fundraise, apply for grants. Tim's going to be able to get a lot of material and labor donated to help with this project. So hopefully we're able to get approval to move forward and be something great for the community to enjoy for years to come.
Anybody else? Very good. Well, at this time, I need a motion for the proposed building for the MPCFL.
Motion to approve the NPCFL building is presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions?
I have so many comments and questions. All positive, beautiful. The rendering is beautiful. I loved seeing that. I texted Dan, I'm like, where is this going? Because I didn't have a kid that ever played football, so he explained to me that he thinks it's in the swamp. Is the swamp the
That's what I
correct
call the
area?
The swamp is the area that's not mowed
Correct.
between the parking lot and the field.
Tim, we'll raise that ground once we get all, but that currently, yes, it is a low land.
Okay.
Another way to say it.
And that will be nice if it helps us out, because that area currently is very difficult to mow.
Right.
Sure.
Hence why it's the swamp.
The swamp.
So.
Right, that's
help with
great.
drainage.
So yeah, I think that, well, another question I have is what kind of timeline are you looking at once you've secured the funding?
So, it was created, may I approach the bench? I saw this guy back here.
Look at that, you're very well prepared.
I'll share.
I know.
Almost. There we go.
I don't have handcuffs on right now, you're good.
So the synopsis from start to end is,
Well, I guess my office prepared that. So I guess the biggest thing would be getting through the state of Indiana for our design release. That would be probably our, I don't want to say hardest, but it would be probably the.
because this looks like it's a lot of like spin up, how you're gonna get rolling. And we were just asking how long from start to finish till the building was.
I think they, each one kind of have a duration on it.
Okay.
But you don't currently have the funding to start this project like next week?
We have enough to start with drawings and whatever Tim would need initially, but when, we will need to conduct some fundraising events, apply and seek for some grants. We have a pretty experienced fundraiser chairing our fundraising committee, so I'm fairly confident that we're going to be able to keep pace with requests that come through to make sure that we wrap this up in a timely manner.
And will NPCFL then pay to maintain the building and the electricity? And, I mean, you guys are planning to take on all the cost associated with this facility? That's amazing. Okay. Looks like a wonderful addition.
Yeah, I was gonna get ready to say, I love the design of the building. I think it'll look great when it's done, and it's definitely a much needed improvement. I know Brian and I had coached out there and you know, the portalettes, and it just doesn't look good at all. It's not very inviting for sure. So to see a piece of land like that to be used, that's not being used very well or able to be maintained, turned into something beautiful like this, I think that's great. And just only gonna harbor more culture, football culture in the areas. Anybody else?
Is there, as long as insurance goes, is this in your purview, I assume?
So we would update our policy to whatever we need.
And we would carry what's called a builder's risk while it's under construction. Once it's completed and we get a COI on it, then it would be turned over to somebody to insure.
Yeah, we would. Sure. Yeah.
And they stated that they would then remove the old concession stand buildings once everything is ready and turn it back to whatever ground that Matt wants it to be turned back into, so.
Yeah, no, that's nice, beautiful.
So are you able to reuse all the machinery that's inside the building? Are you just gonna build a new shell and move all the things and put them inside, or have to purchase?
What we
things?
could, I think Tim's plan, a lot more like permanent stuff would be included in that to allow us to,
And the sink and
yeah,
everything?
but by that time, most of the stuff we're probably ready to replace anyways.
Yeah.
Well, good
And that
luck.
building also would be climate control.
Which would help preserve equipment and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Good deal. Anybody else? Okay.
Exciting.
All those in favor of approving the NPCFL building proposal as presented indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good
All
luck.
right. Next is a long list of Miss Gizzy shows, what I'll call it. And we're going to start with donations.
Okay, here we go. Donations are actually a little bit shorter, that's one, a little bit faster. The town of Cumberland issued a check to NPHS in the amount of $500. They'd like that to be used by the Art Honor Society. They were grateful for the hard work in creating a mural in Cumberland. And that is our donation, requesting board approval at this time.
We have a motion, please, for the donation.
I'll make a motion to approve the donations as presented.
Second?
Moved in second. Comments or questions? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. Those in favor of accepting the donation indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Next, we'll hear from Ms. Gizzy about the debt service fund to operation fund transfer resolution.
So the state is allowing school corporations to distribute the financial impact of the new supplemental homestead credit across the debt service and operations funds. So basically, the money that we lost, that we were not allowed to receive from the homestead credit, it was supposed to be taken all out of the operations fund, but we didn't know about that until we had already done our budget. We've talked about this some. And so we are allowed to transfer $606,649.60 from debt service back into the operations fund to share that loss between the two funds. And then moving forward, it will be all taken out of the operations fund, but we'll have time to plan for that with our next budget. So we're asking for board approval to make that transfer in 2026 to help our operations fund.
Very good, thank you. This time, can I get a motion on the topic, please?
Motion to approve the transfer as presented.
Second.
Moved in second. Comments or questions for Ms. Gizzy? Here.
I'm glad they gave us that option, right? Because we thought we were gonna be in a world of hurts if we didn't get that option. So I'm glad they didn't start that till next year, because they were gonna start it this year, so
Absolutely.
glad we got that opportunity.
Any other comments? Okay, hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Next is the 2026-27 school meal prices.
So we are coming back with you, Chris Igo and I work on this together, and we're requesting approval of the 26-27 meal prices as shown in the document. As you can see, there is a slight increase across the board in all the categories. As the costs of food and supplies and labor increase, we feel that we've had success with small increments, small incremental raises versus a large raise in prices somewhere down the line. So at this time, we're asking for the approval of the 26-27 meal prices.
Very good. Can I get a motion, please, for the meal prices change?
I'll make a motion to approve the 2026-2027 school meal prices as presented.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Comments or questions? All those in favor of approving the school meal prices indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Next is the 2026-27 consumable and supplemental fees.
So Nick Mitchner and I worked closely on this to update this for the 26-27 school year. And as you know, we started charging fees second semester of the 25-26 school year. There was legislative clarification that allowed us to do so. And just as a reminder, we are charging for consumable supplies that are used up by a student, like cooking ingredients, science lab materials, art supplies. And these are items that aren't part of the district's adopted curriculum materials and don't function like a textbook. So these are the true supporting items for a course. And for 26-27, a few things that you'll notice, some changes in the board backup documents. We had the reorganization of our grade structure, so made sure that we got the grades worked out and organized there in those documents. And then fee changes, some were doubled because they were only charged for one semester last year. If it was a full year course, we took that into consideration. And then some courses stayed the same because they were one semester courses. So that's something to note there. And then we implemented a cap of $60 per course per year. So we don't want it to become a burden, and we would like to keep it at a reasonable expense for some of our more expensive courses. We want kids to still be able to take those courses. Free and reduced students will not be charged again this year. Their fees will be waived. And then we had 2 new courses added this year, Principles of Construction Trades and Heavy Equipment Foundations. The Principles of Construction, that was a course last year that we offered, but it was one of the HC3 courses, so we had students from different school corporations taking that course in our building, so we did not charge a fee for that last year because of the different corporations involved. And so we've added that this year. And then the heavy equipment pathway is a new pathway that we are starting, and I know we're really excited about. So we will be charging, this year only one of those courses will be offered, and then there'll be another one offered next year as well. So looking forward to adding that to our courses. So at this time, asking for board approval for the 26-27 supplemental fees for the school year.
Very good. Can I get a motion, please, for the said topic?
I move that we approve the 2026-2027 consumable and supplemental fees as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions for Ms. Gizzi?
So we have these really great documents. Are these posted somewhere for families to see?
They're on our website.
They will be.
Yes, once our board
After you have
approved.
to approve, but yeah.
Okay. I'm just, just that way, if cost were a factor, they would have an understanding of what they were signing, their student was signing up for in regards to, these are still a tremendous value. So.
They'll do a nice job. They did a nice job in the spring. Sarah and her team, and with Craig's help, they put something out in Paris Square, and it had a link to go to our website, so if they wanted to look in more detail, they could, the cost.
Okay, thank you.
It's a good point. Good point. Any other?
Yeah,
Any
it's
other?
helpful.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. All those in favor of approving the consumable and supplemental fees as presented indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Next is the Memorandum of Understanding and Agreement, or Trex. And because I have to call timeout in meetings all the time because school administrators love to speak in abbreviations and acronyms. Trex stands for Tax Refund Exchange and Compliance System. So there you go. That's good.
Thank you. So this is a program that is available to governmental agencies to help with debt collection. And it would give us an option, besides using a collection agency, if we were to get to that point, which we try very hard not to get to that point. A lot of opportunities are given for people to pay their debts. But this is something that we've been looking at the past 2 or 3 years, and we've been hearing about it more and more at different meetings that we've been going to, about just as another tool for us to give us another option when it comes to debt collection. And it's been in operation since 2018. I work with several different CFOs who use the program, so we've been advised that this is something that they feel really strongly about. So basically, it would help collect outstanding debts through tax refund offsets. So it's a program that's been around, and this is the first step in us having the potential to use the program. So once we sign the memorandum, then we have another series of some paperwork to do on our end, and then we could start using the program as soon as this next tax year. So we're asking for board approval at this time.
Very good. Can I get a motion, please, for the top?
Make a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding and agreement for Trex as presented.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions?
So this will start at the beginning of the school year or in the kind of maybe after Christmas?
So, well, we would start, we could report by the end of the calendar year.
This
When you
calendar year.
need to submit your first information to the governing body that helps to apply this. And then the offsets would happen with the property tax refunds in the spring.
Okay.
Good question. Anybody else? Okay, all those in favor of approving the motion indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Next is the daycare fund transfer.
So this is the second part of our daycare fund transfer resolution. We brought you the last meeting asking permission to make the transfer, and that we would come back at the July meeting with the amount. So here you have the fund transfer resolution with the transfer amount that will help us make our daycare fund positive at the end of the fiscal year. So we're asking for board approval this time.
Very good. Can I get a motion, please, for the daycare fund transfer?
I'll make a motion to approve the daycare fund transfer.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Good. Any comments or questions, please? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Next is the project resolution.
So we've gone full circle, and we're back to the resolutions that are associated with the hearings that we held at the beginning of the meeting. So the first resolution is the project resolution, and this is required when a school corporation is planning to finance more than $1 million per building. So this document that you have in your board backup contains the estimated hard and soft construction costs, costs of issuance, and the total project cost. It also contains the estimated tax impact. So we're asking for board approval at this time of the project resolution.
Can I get a motion, please, for the project resolution?
Motion to approve the project resolution is presented.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Comments or questions, please? Kind of already went over it all in great detail earlier, so anybody have anything you want to add? All those in favor of approving the project resolution indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Next is the preliminary determination resolution.
So the preliminary determination resolution contains the total project cost, the maximum annual payment, and lease bond term, and other financial terms such as the estimated principal amount and tax impact. And we're asking for board approval of the preliminary determination resolution at this time.
Can I get a motion, please?
I move that we approve the preliminary determination resolution as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments or questions? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Next is the reimbursement resolution.
It's the last one. So the reimbursement resolution, this allows the school to reimburse ourselves if we need to spend some of the money spend some of the bond proceeds prior to closing on the bonds. So we do this, we've done this before, so as those projects are getting ready to begin and we've already had, all of our steps approved, there are times when we need to spend some of that money beforehand, and this allows us to reimburse ourselves from the bond proceeds. Asking for board approval of the reimbursement resolution at this time.
Very good. Can I get a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the reimbursement resolution as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments or questions? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
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 Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Well done.
Thank you, Sarah.
She has all finished the rest of it.
That's right. Next is Dr. Pleak with our library board appointment.
In the spring, when Dave Gray came with Fred Fox to deliver how past year had gone with the Hancock County Public Library, especially ours here in New Palestine, one thing that he reminded all of us is that Fred Fox's term was coming to an end, and they would love for him to be reappointed, but Fred is an appointee of the school board. So Dave's request, and I agree with him, is that we allow Fred Fox to continue his work as our library representative on the board. So I'm asking approval of that this evening.
Very good. Can we get a motion, please, for the library board appointment?
Motion to approve Fred Fox's library board appointment.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions?
Just grateful to Mr. Fox. He did a wonderful job for us as a teacher, and he is a wonderful representative for our schools on the library board. So
And he loves
appreciate
it.
his service.
He loves doing that.
Yeah.
I'll send him a note from you guys.
Thank you. All those in favor of approving Mr. Fox as our library board representative indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Yes. Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Next is the MPCS strategic plan, and that's with Dr. Pleak.
You will be looking at the screen. It's our official release of our strategic plan. It's about 99% of the way there. I feel like it's now my third child. So welcome as I make the birth announcement here. So we have, when you start out with all of this at the front, we thought it was fitting to have our graduates. That is the end capstone of our time here. K-12 is getting our students ready for life and taking it on. The next page is a letter from me explaining to our community how we arrived here and some things I will tell you about. Just a reminder, we took the entire 25-26 school year to get input, survey people, have focus groups. We had a strategic planning committee to compile all of this. So something to be known, this was a community-built plan. This was not an administrator-built plan. We had 835 survey responses of community members, families, employees, and students. 325 focus group participants, and we had 26 representatives that represented administrators, teachers, classified staff, parents, and community members. We met a few times throughout the year. Amanda was the representative for the school board on that committee. And along the way, it was just always reviewing data and helping develop the plan together. And you never know what's going to come at the end, and we're very proud of how it's going to be. So as we get this, hopefully we get this approved this evening, then Mr. Smith will start working on getting posters created for classrooms, for buildings, our website ready. It'll be a big point of emphasis with our staff at the beginning of the year meetings, as well as our newsletters with people. So when going through all of this, you could go ahead and go to the next one. Amber, we developed a mission. Our new mission will be together, which we thought that was a key word. Together, we foster strong relationships, meaningful learning, and community pride, ensuring every student realizes their full potential. It's a great reason of why to exist and why we do what we do. And what we want our outcome to be for our vision is equipping every student to embrace challenges, pursue excellence, and create a successful future. If we've done that, then we've done our jobs. And our community will be very proud and thankful for it. One thing that was very important to the committee as we met is just what our beliefs are. And so all those collective voices and everything we heard, these are the ones that rose to the top. I'm not going to read the whole document to you, but this is the page. It's just our foundation. It's very important. But our belief, we believe every person matters and can make a difference through leadership and serving others. We believe a balance of well-being and high expectations are essential to learning and lifelong success. We believe in the strength of family and community. Student success is strongest when we work together and value every voice. We believe integrity, trust, and mutual respect create our foundation for excellence. So as we move forward, that will be something that we will always take back to in our beliefs, and when we go for things, we will make sure things align with our mission, vision, and our beliefs. The next one here is, when we created all of this, what kept rising to the top, because again, we didn't want to come with this pre-planned idea we put in front of people. We really wanted to survey and listen, and what stood out. And the other thing I want everyone to realize, there's nothing magical about strategic plans. It's really just listening to every voice and elevating it and bringing it together. So when you read this plan, I hope it makes you think of our community of New Palestine and our schools, New Palestine Community Schools. But what stood out, number one, strong relationships. Number two, meaningful learning. And number three, community pride. Going to the next, so our priority one, strong relationships. For each of our priorities, we have goals listed and what success will look like. I'll just read the first sentence for each priority because we're really proud of those as well. But strong relationships. Relationships drive everything we do because students learn best when they feel safe, supported, and valued. We have 4 goals, and we thought instead of just saying key measures or measures of success, since our mission started with together, we're gonna have together we will, because it is everyone coming together to achieve these goals, and we all have a major impact in it. It's not just something our teachers do in the classrooms or something our administrators make sure get done. It's our families and our community members as well. The strong relationships, I think first and foremost, when you talk about this community, that is something that you get echoed throughout. Our second priority, meaningful learning. And meaningful learning is excellence is more than achievement. It is learning that is relevant, engaging, and prepares students for life. These 4 goals greatly stood out. These were probably some of the easiest ones to land on because it's something we were hearing from families, teachers, and our own students. And so then we have how we will get there as well for those measurements and all of that. And then our priority number 3, community pride. NPCS is the heart of the community where excellence is celebrated, partnerships are built, and pride is shared. So we have 4 goals again with that and how we will accomplish. And I think the one thing to know is our school administrators, this will be shared with everyone, but they have success tracking plans. They will help use this document to set their goals. Cabinet, we've gone through from district leadership, we've set hours for this year, things we're gonna focus, but we're all gonna work together, but also work what makes sense for our levels at the time. So we will always communicate that with you and give you updates throughout the year as well. And of course, you get to the end here, of course we have to have a back page. So Dragon Excellence Every Day. Together, we will continue to live Dragon Excellence every day as we honor our past, strengthen our present, and shape our future. So of course we have to have some more accolades there and a QR code that will take people to our website. But it's a document that everything says Dragon Excellence Together Toward 2031. This is something to help guide us the next 5 years. Again, it's not earth shattering, but we know what our job is and what we need to do. And so it's just things that will help guide our work. And one thing we did hear from the community through all the surveys is don't create this grandiose plan and put it on a shelf. And don't try to list everything you want to improve or accomplish. Let's just highlight the things that we think will move us forward and just settle on a few things of each one. So that's why you just have a few goals under each one. But when you read it, it seems simple, but when you look at doing the work, there's work to be done here and with all the efforts. So we do not plan on doing all this year 1. It is a 5-year plan. So let's just be mindful of that. But again, I do want to thank everyone that served on the committee. I want to thank Amanda, but just our community, and just can't wait to share this with them. So, ask approval of this time.
Very good. Can I get a motion, please, for the new strategic plan, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the strategic plan.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Very well. Any comments or questions for Dr. Fleet?
Well, this is more just some general commentary. So when we hired Dr. Pleak 2 years ago, we, as a board, indicated that we were hoping for a new strategic plan because that work hadn't been done in quite a while. And at that time, I was serving on the President's Roundtable and hearing about other school corporations going through strategic planning. And there are school corporations that spend a tremendous amount of money to get a strategic plan made, and that didn't happen here. Dr. Pleak took this on. She used the resources that she had available to her, including employees and our school community and larger community, and they all worked really hard to put this together without it costing extra dollars. And I just think that that needs to be highlighted because that's very impressive to me. I was joking with her that when she retires in 20 years, she can have a second career as a strategic planning consultant, but we're gonna hang on to her as long as we can. But this is a really great piece of work, and I appreciate that you didn't, you could do that work without having to spend money that the school corporation needs to do other things with right now. So thank you. It's beautiful.
Yeah, the document's great. And it reminds me of when we were interviewing Dr. Pleak, and she's the only one that was brave enough to come in with strategic planning. Remember that?
Mhm.
She's the only one that just kind of rocked us back in our chairs. So it's right, you're obviously very comfortable with this, and you did a great job. I love it. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'll just say, I'm on another board in this community, and this strategic plan isn't an easy thing to do. It takes, as you said, it takes a lot of time, and it does provide some direction, albeit maybe not as detailed as some people like, but you do have to get into the detail and understand what you're gonna do in the next 5 years. And it does give us that roadmap, so I'm really impressed that we have that roadmap to now kind of navigate us through the next 5 years and see where that takes us. And then we can do it all over again sometime. So thank you for all your work. I appreciate it very much.
Anybody else?
Just thank you to everybody that gave their time and effort to get it done.
Okay. At this time, those in favor of approving the MPCS strategic plan as presented indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Next on our agenda is informal comments. I don't believe we have any this evening. So we will move on to board member comments, and I usually speak last, but I'm gonna just throw a bone out there and tell Stan Wilkinson gave us a tour this evening of the Amplify Hancock County Innovation Center. And I just want to thank Stan, Mr. Wilkinson, for that, because it was a phenomenal building. It's going to be something really awesome to have in our community and a great resource for our students and now and in the future. So thank you to Mr. Wilkinson. Ms. Haverly?
I probably have said enough tonight. I'm good.
Yeah, so again, I'll talk about the strategic plan. I mean, that is, I don't know if all of us have ever been through those exercises, but it's not an easy task, and it really taxes your brain when you start thinking about a new mission and vision statement, right? Those are key things that give you direction. And I just applaud everybody that has done that. So we're getting ready to start another school year, so hats off to that. We're getting ready. Again, we toured the Amplify building tonight, so thank you, Dr. Pleak, for doing that. It's been a long time coming. I think Mr. Wilkinson said 6.5 years, I think, is what the stage was for that. And to see some of the things that are happening in that place for our students as they get ready to go in their next career, I look forward to the high school and junior high promoting that as an option for our students and making sure that they can take full advantage of that, because it's great. Even though they're yellow on the outside, there's not red, but hey, we got it close. We did find some red in there.
Yes.
We
It's
did
in the
find some red,
piping.
albeit the hot water pipes, but we did find red.
So we bring the heat.
So, exactly, so we,
Midnight.
yes, so that's why they're all red, but there were red pipes in there, so it's excited about that. But he just kind of showed us how that whole piece fits together, and been very nice that all 4 school corporations, all kidding aside, have been able to work together to come to that agreement, and the 4 superintendents in our county have been able to work together to come to that thing. It's not an easy task, and but it's been great, so hats off to that and looking forward to a new start of this, or a new beginning of the new school year, so that's great.
Mr. Herbert?
Not a whole lot. It's middle of the summer. Hope everybody's enjoying their summer. But we're getting close to the start of another year, so I've got a little girl at home that is counting down the days. Probably not in a good way, but, yeah, not in the all way. But, no, I hope everybody's enjoying their summer. It always seems too short, for sure.
Ms. Wooten?
The strategic plan, yes, kudos, well done. Yeah, just watched her work. I think the Building Dragon Excellence project is gonna be incredible, and it's massive, and we spend a lot of time talking about it, and everybody's been patient with all of our questions, and so, Sarah, thank you, all that, your team and everything. Lots of good, exciting things. Yeah.
I just want to thank the Cadet Football League for their proposal, because a few months ago, we had one from the Baseball League, and so it just shows their commitment, and they come with this enthusiasm and ideas, and Mr. Lawson, Mrs. Gizzi, and I work with them until we think, okay, this is good stuff. So just the amount of support in our community for our students from all different directions and all kinds of interests, is just very gratifying to see that happen. Another thing I would like to give a shout out to is our entire staff, our teachers, our administrators, Mr. Lawson, the custodial team, the maintenance team. This move this summer is a big task. And everyone, when I see them, I get a lot of smiles. I don't know behind that, but everyone, just know that everyone is working so hard. And so how the new junior high is looking, it's looking phenomenal, the things that they've gotten to so far. But we're not ready yet, but we will be when students come, because they're coming no matter what. But it is just a lot of work in Jody Whitaker, Jessica Jackson, like everybody's been working together to get things ready for the auction. Teachers coming shopping and getting what they're wanting for the rooms, teachers unpacking the rooms. We've had a lot of people move rooms and all that. So it's just, no, it's not easy. I'm staying out of your way intentionally so you can get all this stuff done. But just, I'm excited for that. So now when I'm talking to the staff, they're like, we're getting excited, we're getting ready and all that. So just a very good thing, but I just don't want all of the work to go unnoticed. So it's a lot of work. We have the full project going on. We have the transportation project that just got started. We're having project meetings for Sugar Creek and the junior high right now. So we have a lot of things that are going on. It's been a busy summer, but it's been a great summer when you have great people to work with, so.
All right, anybody else have anything they want to add? Nothing left but adjournment. Can I get a motion to adjourn, please?
Motion to adjourn. Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor of adjournment, please indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Yes, we are adjourned. Thank you.